let us stand and sing. It is the purple sheet inside your program. It's called I Love My Life. That is our opening song today.
And it's my pleasure to be your trustee today. On behalf of Reverend Donna and the Board of Trustees, I'm privileged to welcome you here to the Sonoran Desert for Center Living, spiritual living, which should be at the center. Whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are truly welcome here. Here you will be validated, supported, and encouraged to be all that you're meant to be. Our vision statement is love every day, in every way. We express this love by learning and living the principles of the science of mind. You'll find our Declaration of Principles on the back of your program. Please join me now in reading them. I believe there is an infinite intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe this intelligence is only good. I believe this intelligence expresses as me. I believe through my conscious use of this power, I create my life as happy, healthy, and complete. And so it is. Do we have any first-timers? Well, if we do, just by chance, please stay afterwards and introduce yourself to people because we have lots of goodies to share. And I'm thanking the good people that brought a variety of yummy treats for us afterwards, so please join us. So, without further ado, please turn off your phones.
words for our Namaste song are inside the white sheet in the first page of your program if you would like to join in. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. Namaste.
Good morning. My name is Louise Riley, and I am your practitioner today. The practitioners are the healing arm of the church, so we hope that if you have a prayer request, anything that's important to you that you would like prayer on, that you would put a request in our box over there. We also have birthday cards. If you're not currently getting a birthday card, you might want to fill that out so you get a card on or after your birthday, because sometimes I'm a little late sending them out. Being very honest, you'll get it in that month. So if you could do that, that would be great. And if you have a demonstration, we're always happy to share that as well. There is a box for demonstrations. So I'm going to light this candle to start the service and just recognize that we each have a light within us. And that light is God, and it is powerful. So just get comfortable. And just know that there is one power, one presence, one eternal love in the universe, and it is God. Eternal love and goodness surrounds everyone and everything. We are each a glorious expression of God, of eternal love. I lean into the greatness of this power and presence right where I am, and I invite you to lean into this power and presence as we recognize a power and intelligence in the universe. I accept for each of us that our divine nature is a perfect reflection of the ever unfolding wonderfulness of life, and I completely accept this truth for every person here. I affirm well-being for all today, in all ways, mind, body, and spirit. And I know that there are blessings for each person here and for those who could not be here today, and I know that we are each divinely blessed through Reverend Donna's teachings today. And I anchor this by saying, and so it is. So my reading today is from the book Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks. And it's about focusing energy for change, and it talks about the law of attraction as well. When you remember an incident from a past experience, you are focusing energy. When you are imagining something that may occur in your future, you are focusing energy. And of course, when you are observing something in your now, you are focusing energy. It makes no difference whether you are focusing on the past, the present, the future. You are still focusing energy, and your point of attention or focus is causing you to offer a vibration that is your point of attraction. When you spend time pondering, remembering, or imagining something, a vibration is activated within you. If you return to the thought, you again activate the vibration. The more you revisit the thought, the more familiar the vibration becomes, and the easier it is for you to activate it, until eventually it becomes a dominant vibrational pattern within you. There are two surefire ways to understand what your vibrational offering is. Notice what is happening in your experience, for what you focus on and what is manifesting are always a vibrational match. And notice how you feel, because your emotions are giving you constant feedback about your vibrational offering and your point of attraction. It is a wonderful thing when you begin to make the correlation between what you have been thinking and feeling and what is manifesting. In that conscious awareness, you are then able to deliberately modify your thoughts in order to attract something that is even more pleasing. But the most satisfying aspect of deliberately creating comes from being sensitive to the way the thoughts you are thinking feel. So if you got that, so you're thinking, being sensitive to the way the thoughts that you are thinking make you feel. For then it is possible to modify a bad feeling thought to one that feels better, and to improve your point of attraction before something unwanted appears. Deliberately creating is about guiding your thoughts in good feeling directions. You will feel the satisfaction of deliberately choosing a good feeling thought, and then you will enjoy observing the good feeling manifestation that must follow. There is even some satisfaction to be found in recognizing the not so good manifestation, for now your conscious awareness of the powerful law of attraction will give you the feeling of control. Without making the correlation between your thoughts and feelings and the manifestations that are occurring, you have no conscious control of what happens in your experience. Namaste.
Namaste.
So I take this candle and hold the high watch for each and every one of us today.
So it's not every day that I wear a t-shirt to Sunday, but today I had to share this with you. I love this top, especially since today the E-News said we're talking about laughter is the best medicine. So I had to be a little silly, got to be a little crazy. And so my shirt says, I'll come over here. Do everything love. So as long as we're doing everything in love, t-shirts are okay, right? Yeah. All right. And since we are talking about laughter, I got to do a song today that's going to make you laugh. Here comes Karen Drucker. Oh, yeah. I need some clapping. Here because I have to operate the thing. See, you're laughing already. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm not gonna let it get me down, not gonna let it push me over, not gonna let it run me around, cause I know the truth. I'm too blessed, alright, to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be what? Be hateful. And I'm too blessed, come on now. That's right. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Doesn't matter what's on the news, you can't make my mind up for me. Ain't gonna hear me sing the blues, cause I know the truth. I'm too blessed that you're blessed to have in your life. Keep on clapping. Clap for them. Clap for those people, those things. There's a lot of energy in these two noisemakers you own. I am grateful for each breath I take. Yes, yes. I am grateful that I'm wide awake. Yes, yes. I am grateful for each passing day. Yes, yes. I am grateful. I am grateful. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Sing it, girl. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Come on. Blessed to be stressed. One more time. Blessed to be. I'm so blessed. Yeah. Thank you. Namaste. Don't be pissed.
I love our church. Where can everybody sing pissed? It's okay. Good morning. Well, this month, our monthly theme is Reflections on the Art of Living. And I've chosen Laughter, the Best Medicine as our topic for today, and we've got a good start on that. But most of you know I consider myself a storyteller. I don't like to deliver a talk without a couple of stories that make us stop and think or smile or laugh. Thank you. But finding them is not always easy. So a couple months ago, I remembered that I grew up with the Reader's Digest. Remember it? How many of you take it today? You still do? Good. I just ordered a couple months ago. It's a lot skinnier than what I remember. It used to be really fat and I couldn't wait for it. But it does have a thing in it called Laughter, the Best Medicine. And I thought, well, maybe I can find some stories. And so this was in the July. Now they don't even come every month. It's every 2 months. So poor Reader's Digest. But anyway, this was in the July-August issue. An optimist and a pessimist were together on a tropical island. Isn't the ocean just amazing, says the optimist? The endless horizon, the crashing waves, the soft sands. It makes you appreciate the beauty of our planet. And the pessimist replies, I don't think that rescue plane saw us. So, I remember them as funnier, but so anyway, but you know, even the Bible tells us that laughter and joy are requirements for artful living. Here's a couple of statements from Proverbs. A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of the heart the spirit is broken. All the days of the suffering are unpleasant, but he that is of a merry heart hath a continual feast. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones. So the health benefits, I know we've talked about this before. I remember Rosie doing a talk, I think, about the health benefits of laughter. And it's been proved to reduce stress, lower blood pressure, boost the immune system, improve brain functioning, and protects the heart. So the word humor in ancient Greece defined a mix of fluids, and literally juice or sap, that controlled human health and emotion. So the Greeks also believed that without humor, our bones would dry up. And I think they do. From a spiritual standpoint, laughter opens us up to the possibilities of life. And I believe that laughter does for the soul what Roto-Rooter does for the drain pipes. Because years ago, when my then husband and I began an advertising agency, we were living literally from check to check. And we had been promised a sizable check from a job we had just finished. And we were waiting for it. So every day we went to the office and waiting desperately for the mail to come. And when it did, there was no check. And we were really close to panic. And then one morning, a friend of ours dropped by the office. He has a marvelous sense of humor. And we spent the morning just laughing and joking and talking and literally forgetting about anything that was a problem. And when he left, we were surprised at how wonderful we felt. And guess what the mail brought that same afternoon? Now, the skeptic or the pessimist would say that the check would have come anyway. But I am convinced that letting go of our worry and allowing ourselves to enjoy those minutes with our friend opened that flow of our own consciousness, opened the door to our own good that we had been blocking by our fear and our worry. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, says the possibility of everything, all that God is, all that the universe has, exists solely that this rose shall bloom, that this man may paint his picture, that this girl may go out and sing, that a child may make a mud cake, a mother nurse her baby, all of these. Isn't this a magnificent concept? The trivial is not incidental. It is merely the mode of manifestation of all things. The laughter of a child is as important to the universe as the creation of a planet. So we need to remember, too, that our own laughter is important to spirit as the creation of a planet. You know, most of us have had Green Valley moments in our lives. And sometimes we worry that we're losing it. I know I talk to people, and I feel the same way sometimes. It's like, you know. But this came from a newspaper in Sarasota some years ago. An elderly Florida woman did her shopping, and upon returning to her car, found 4 young men in the act of stealing it. She dropped her shopping bags and drew a handgun from her purse, proceeding to yell at the top of her lungs, "I have a gun and I know how to use it, get out of my car." Well, the 4 men didn't wait for a second. They got out and they ran like mad. The lady, somewhat shaken, then loaded her bags in the trunk and got into the driver's side. In fact, she was so shaken that she couldn't get her key into the ignition. You know what's coming. She tried and then realized that there was a football, a Frisbee, and 2 6-packs of Coke in the front seat. A few minutes later, she found her own car parked a few spaces further down. She loaded her bags in the car and drove to the police station to report her mistake. The sergeant to whom she reported her story couldn't stop laughing. He pointed to the other end of the counter where 4 very pale young men were reporting a carjacking by a mad elderly woman described as white, less than 5 feet tall, glasses, curly white hair, and carrying a large handgun. No charges were filed. But there is a moral to this story. If you are going to have a senior moment, make it memorable. So the ability to laugh at our mistakes and the mistakes of others, that fosters our own self-acceptance, not only of ourselves and others, but of the whole world. We are all going to have our senior moments. And our ability to laugh at them allows us to accept the human side of us rather than worrying that there's something terribly wrong. The quotes from Proverbs that I read earlier, they were dated around 900 before Common Era. And yet the words are as true today as they were then. A merry heart does good like a medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones. So if we are constantly worried that our imperfect behavior is a sign of mental decay, we're literally setting that up for ourselves. It's from a merry heart that our body will remain limber and our mind will stay young and active. And the same is true in our relationships. You know, if we can take an inconsiderate word of someone we care for with a grain of salt and a sense of humor, we can move what might have been hurtful into compassion. One of the 4 agreements in Don Miguel Ruiz's book is don't take anything personally. And he says that an unkind word toward us is not about us, but it's about the other person. If we accept the unkind words, then we are accepting the poisoning that they are offering. When we don't take things personally, we can never be hurt by careless or cruel comments, and we can maintain a sense of peace in any situation. Ruiz tells us that if we keep the agreement to not take anything personally, then we can travel around the world with our heart completely open, and nobody can hurt us. We can say, I love you, without fear of being ridiculed or rejected. We can choose to follow our heart and experience inner peace and happiness, always. And from that place of inner peace, we can see the other person's pain rather than their thoughtlessness. And with a merry heart, we can be a channel for love that transforms the whole encounter. Laughter reduces stress in any situation, any. And I remember, and I've probably told this story before, but it's so appropriate. I remember the day that my father died, years and years and years ago. My family had been at the hospital for several days holding vigil. I had flown in from California and had a couple of days to do that as well. And so when we came home from the hospital, we were exhausted. And we began to make plans for the funeral. And then someone told a story about Daddy that made us laugh. And someone else told another story. And pretty soon we were literally in hysterics. I mean, the tears were just we couldn't stop anything. And I remember that my brother-in-law sat there looking at us like we were the most inappropriate people on the planet. He considered us totally irreverent and completely out of order. But in that laughter, which was raw, it was raw, the stress of those previous days left. And we were able to move forward with the arrangements, with a sense of peace, and that we could get through whatever was to come. And I've talked to other people who've had very similar situations. It seems that our soul knows when it's time to relieve the stress of a tragic situation by creating a space for laughter. And every screenwriter, I took a couple of screenwriting classes because I thought that was so much fun. And what I learned is a good film, no matter how intense the plot, will have a place where humor is inserted to relieve the audience of the stress that has been building from the storyline. Somewhere in that film, you need a place to go before you start again, you know? So that's what laughter does, and it creates a flow that allows us to see options and choices. When we're unhappy, angry, hurt, or resentful, our whole body constricts. And our mind constricts as well. We are often reacting to a situation which puts us on the defense. And being on the defense limits our choices. When we enter a power struggle and let the playfulness that's really us drop by the wayside, we lose touch with our laughter and trust in life and in others. And it only leads to a downward vicious circle that benefits nobody. Humor and laughter allow us to drop those defenses. Laughter interrupts the power struggle that we might be playing. It's really hard to lock down in conflict with somebody when you're laughing. So when the constriction of conflicts are removed, then spirit can move through us with ease. Ernest Holmes says, this spirit is happy, whole, free, filled with joy, eternal in its existence, and can provide you with everlasting expansion. All your highest hopes and dreams have come from it. The echo of its being is in your intellect. The voice of its unspoken word is in your mind. The feeling of its light and life is in your heart. The emotion of its imagination is in your soul. And it's the truth of our being to every single one of us. And when we come back into that alignment, we have access to the unlimited possibilities that reside within our soul. Our options and choices become wide open, and we're able to see innumerable ways in which a seeming problem may be easily solved. And finally, laughter lets us feel our connection to all of life. I think storytelling is one of the best ways we communicate. In fact, I know I've said it a gazillion times. If we knew everybody's stories, we wouldn't have any wars. We just wouldn't. So when we are sharing our stories, we are sharing our hearts and make connections that really go deep. And it seems like every family has a story keeper. My middle sister was our story keeper. That's how we got to laughing at my dad's antics. It was her stories that began us and then each one of us remembered something. And those family stories connect us through time and space. They're fun. They're fun. While my family is no longer around, I can still remember the stories. I gotta tell you this one. I remember a family vacation. I was about 14. We were going to, I think, Miami or something. And I'm the oldest of 3 girls. So when we got out of the car to go to our hotel, my middle sister, Marilyn, and I, we were acting silly. And my little sister, who was just 6, little teeny thing, was trying to look sophisticated. After all, this was our first vacation together. And she was totally embarrassed by our behavior. And finally, in a huff, she put her hands on her hips and said, "Why don't you girls straighten up and act like human beings?" And I still remember her standing there, so annoyed at us, having no idea why her statement put us into gales of laughter. And to this day, I don't use human being. If I'm talking about things, I say human being. And humor and laughter not only connects us as human beings, but it connects us with all of nature. We can find such joy and laughter watching the antics of an animal, a kitten, or a pet, or a puppy. And Sharon, I have to tell you, Sharon, our bookkeeper, hates spiders, and we have been inundated with spiders. But when I came in last week, she said, "You got to see this." So she took me to the back window, and here's this humongous spider web with this humongous spider, and over to the left, there's a little line of leaves, 2 lines of leaves together. And she said, "Look, he hung out his laundry." So even something that you're scared of can be a source of laughter. So just about anything can bring a smile or laughter. Even the wind. I had a friend long time ago. We were sitting out when we had the other place, when we were at the UU's place. We were sitting out looking over the place. There was this dust devil that went going across, and he said, "I just love dust devils. It looks like they're having such fun." Laughter expresses the divine in us. Ernest Holmes said, "Spirit is neither sad nor depressed. If you would catch the vision of the joy which should be yours, you must dry your tears, you must lay aside your fears. You must think from the inspirational center within you, which is nothing less than the divine in you singing its song of life." So you and I each have a song to sing, a joy to fulfill, a heart to share, stories to share. And that's truly the God in us expressing its natural joy. So if we are to be proficient in the art of living, we need to hone our sense of humor. You know, we don't have to tell jokes. I am not a joke teller at all, period. But I am a storyteller. And I think that we all have those stories that have given us a giggle at some time or another. And those need to be shared. It'd be fun to have a Sunday someday where everybody just shares our stories. And I'm really happy that we have Kay, who has agreed to facilitate our writer's workshop, because I hope within that there'll be a way that we can share the stories that can really make us all feel like one big, huge family. More than ever, we need to express our joy and our laughter. We need it as our own best medicine. And our planet needs it to help balance the ills that we see around us. So with a sense of humor, we heal our souls. And with our laughter, we transform the world. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you.
Is it okay if I share for a second before we do this? Okay, so 2 things. Number 1, I had a big little thought this week. Little big thought, I don't know. But it occurred to me that I finally realized why I don't like the term "the sky is the limit." Because in New Thought logic, saying the sky is the limit is the same thing to me as saying I accept the fact that the sky is the furthest I can go. About that. So there's my big little thought. And you know, I'm listening to what you're saying this morning, and merry heart, merry heart, merry heart. And I have to wonder how much of this was coincidence, how much of this was intentional, and how much of it was intentionally subliminal on the part of the Mary Tyler Moore Show when they named the main character Mary Hart. I have to wonder about those things. So anyway, those are my big little thoughts. All right, let's stand. All right, this is a song called "Doing What I Do Best," and this is by one of my friends up there, Richard McDeesey, who's now Reverend McDeesey. I'm so excited for him. It goes like this. Spend my
want to tell you that next week we have a guest speaker. Ruth Bennett is coming in from Ecuador. So obviously, if you don't know Ruth, you have to come. She and her partner Dee have been in Ecuador, I think, just right before the pandemic hit. I mean, just like within 20 days. But they've been there all this time, and she has started a study group, and they have anywhere between 8 and 13 people on any Sunday. So it is an official study group that's in the magazine. So I'm just really excited for whoever has not met her to have a chance to do so, and I know you'll love her just as much as I do. So that's for next week. And now it's time for our offering. So it's a chance to contribute to that circle of never-ending prosperity and abundance. So I want you to join me in the offering affirmation on the left-hand side of your bulletin. My gift goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless all that it touches. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I share generously of my good, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is.
Who can turn the world on with her smile? Yeah. Who can take a nothing day, suddenly make it seem worthwhile? Well, it's you. You should know it. And with each glance, every movement, you show it. Love is all around, no need to fake it. You can have the time, why don't you take it? You're gonna make it after all, yeah. How will you make it on your own? This world is awfully big, and all this time you're all alone. Well, it's time you started living, and it's time you let someone else do the giving. Love is all around, no need to fake it. You can have the time, why don't you take it? You're gonna make it after all. You're gonna make it after all.
That's fun. Thank you. Okay, so let's, again, thank you for your generosity that allows us to be a beneficial presence in this community, and allows us to have a home that we can come to and a spiritual family that we can enjoy so very much. So even being a bit irreverent in the process. I love that. So let's take a moment to close this portion out in prayer, and then please join us for refreshments. If you are new to us, please take a moment to come up and let us know who you are so that we can get to know you better. So I know that there is one mind. It is the mind of God. And it's the mind that we each use. There is one life. It's the life of God that is animated through each and every one of us. Each and every experience on this planet. I know that as we look to life with joy and laughter and fun, that's what we receive. And it doesn't matter about those Green Valley moments, because in truth, we are all one, using that one mind, that one wisdom, which is God. So I give thanks for all of us being here today. I give thanks as our snowbirds begin to creep back. I'm so happy to see. And I just know that right now, for anyone experiencing any kind of a challenge, to know that this laughter today makes a change because it is the joy of God that shines through. And so I just simply release this to the law of mind to do its perfect work, as together we say, and so it is. Thank you so very much. Shall we stand to sing stand?
So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new